Hello everyone, this is Parag Agrawal and welcome to the PDA show. So today's topic is very interesting because it is at the intersection of emotional purchase and purchase with mind, which is a logical purchase. And we have with us none other than Rohit Iyer, who is a car enthusiast and he loves to break down these kinds of questions about how do you purchase, how do you dissect complex things and bring it down and decide which is a good deal, right?
Yep.
So today we are going to talk about cars and how cars have, for men, of course, it's a big emotional purchase, and that's what we live on, right, Rohit?
Yeah.
But at the same time, is it worth? Like we all know, गाड़ी जैसे ही showroom से निकलती है, it's ultimately it loses value. So is it an emotional purchase or is it an asset purchase? What would be your take? And for an emotional purchase, what's actually running down in the head of the buyer?
Sure. So first of all, thanks for having me here, Parag. It's great to be here on your podcast.
Most welcome.
Now, let's be honest, right? Now, this is why the collaboration and the discussion is very interesting with you as well, because it's like a very interesting cross section between diamonds and like cars. Now, when we think about men, like you said, cars, more honestly, more often than not, is entirely an emotional purchase. But it's not something that, a lot of financial influencers will come out there and tell you, like there are comparisons. Should you travel in an Uber or should you buy yourself a car? And
Right.
all financial creators will always tell you that it's cheaper to, travel everywhere in an Uber and invest that money in the stock market and not buy a car. So
Right.
my job is not to do that. Cars are an emotional purchase. I think every man, every woman, everyone that wants to buy a car should be able to buy a car. But here's the thing. 99% of the people, unfortunately, have no idea on how to buy a car. And the funny thing about,
99%.
I would say 99% of the people have no idea to buy a car. Because when you start breaking down like the price of a car, whether it's a brand new car or whether it's a used car, when you start breaking it down, you realize there are so many places where you're spending money more than what you actually had to. Those are the type of things that I cover on my page. It's not about don't buy a car. It's always about how do you've decided you want to buy a car. So if you want to buy a Mercedes for 60 lakhs, I'll tell you how to get that same Mercedes brand new for maybe 52, 53, or how you can use like interesting financial plans from like a BMW or like a Mercedes and get your car's financial plan to be very simple so that you can invest money. Or if you're buying a used car, how do you do it properly? So get that car. Being emotional is fine. At the end of the day, we're all human. We're not robots. The
Right.
benefit of having emotions in this day and age, and when we're being compared to AI, is the very fact that we have emotions and we have a brain. So if we take those emotions completely out of the picture, then we're just
Correct.
not human anymore.
Right.
The idea isn't about to be robotic and just make decisions which are financial, purely financial. It's about making emotional decisions smartly so that you're not overspending and
Right.
so that you're not getting fooled into it.
Correct.
Yeah, that's the most important part.
So ultimately, that means it is a self-satisfying emotion, which is the most important element, which is actually the investment in the car. But at the same time, when you said many people don't know how to buy a car, what do they do then, and why do you say that?
Okay, so let me break this down, okay? I'm going to walk you through a simple explanation of how someone would buy a car.
Okay.
Let's assume you're a regular person. You are planning to buy a 20 lakh rupee Creta, and it's a very emotional purchase. Your family is involved. Maybe you
Right.
have a child. Your children are involved. Your
Yes.
wife is involved. Maybe your parents are involved as well. Very emotional decision. Now you walk into a Hyundai showroom. You're not a car expert. You're not a finance expert. Every YouTube video you will go and find on the internet will tell you how good the Hyundai Creta is. No one is going to tell you how to save money there. Okay,
Right.
so you go there. Now you have to speak with a sales guy that's sitting at Hyundai who is an expert at selling cars and getting money out of you. Now let me blow your mind. I bet you didn't know this. In fact, I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to ask you, how much do you think the profit margin is for a Hyundai dealership when they sell you a Hyundai Creta? What do you think?
I would think minimum 40%.
40% profit margin for a dealership selling you a Hyundai Creta.
Yeah. No, it's way too much. Okay, 40% is way too. It would be 15%.
15%. Okay, let me tell you what it actually is. It's nothing more than between 2 to 4%.
Are you serious?
The
You
industry,
can get more than brokerage, man.
the industry bandwidth for a dealership's profit on selling a car is between 2 to 6%. The highest is paid out, I believe, by MG because they need their cars to sell. But a company like a Tata or a Hyundai or a Maruti or a Toyota, where the cars sell a lot, their profit margins for the dealer are very low. Now, like you said, you can make brokerage out of it. You can invest it in an FD. You can do pretty much anything. Even the safest investment you make with your money will give you higher returns than selling a car. So why do you sell a car? It's not because of the money you make when you sell the car. First of all, there's service. The service industry makes you more money than selling the car. But that comes later. I'm talking about buying the car. Insurance. The profit margins, the inflation that they do on insurance is crazy. If you're a normal guy walking into a showroom, the dealership will tell you it's compulsory to buy insurance by law, which it is. You need to have an insurance.
But not from them.
But the government has clearly stated that you don't need to buy your insurance from the dealership. Double the price is what they charge you, and they'll make up many excuses. On top of that, it's an emotional purchase. Like I said, your family is involved. Emotions, when done without financial logic, it just frustrates you, right? So now that guy is going to play on your emotions. He knows that he's here to spend 20 lakhs. His family is with him, his wife, his kids. I might just be able to squeeze out an extra lakh. If you're spending 20, getting one out of you at that point in time is not so tough. See, you run a business. I'm a sales guy by my profession. So we know the mindset of salespeople as well, right? So I'm now going to sell this person accessories. Sir, see how nice your car looks on day one. Do you want to keep this car looking this shiny and this nice for the next 5 years? You do, right? You do, right? PPF. PPF, how much? 1 lakh. For you, 1 lakh. But same thing, higher quality in the market, you can get it done like a top level Aegis PPF will be done in 50 to 60,000.
Absolutely.
But you're going to have to wait 2 to 3 days for that. So you can get the delivery, take it to the person. That emotional feeling that you have at the dealership is at the highest. They strike you then and there and they squeeze money out of you. Then your bank loan. When you go to a car dealership, there are 4 to 5 different bank stalls over there. You'd like to believe that there is perfect competition. They're competing with each other, so you'll get good interest rates. No, because the dealership makes a commission with that too. So you're better off negotiating previously from your own bank with your bank manager to get a good price. These 3-4 things are easy to do. You don't have to negotiate like bhaiya 50 like thoda 50,000 kam kar do. You don't have to do any of that. Just basic technicalities, you follow them and you can save 10%, 12% on a car on road right then and there. 99% of the people unfortunately don't know this. You're a business owner. Did you know you can buy a 3 crore G-Wagon for just 80 lakh rupees effective? We can talk about it later. I did a reel and this is not even clickbait. Like there are so many benefits for being a business owner that if you, now this is a hook in the sense that
you're talking about through the depreciation on the company.
Through depreciation, and I'll tell you how I played with the hook over here. Like the 3 crore G-Wagon for 80 lakhs. How did I play with the hook? I said G-Wagon. There's an electric G-Wagon, the G580 EQ. The government allows you 40% depreciation year on year on an electric vehicle. Over 5 years, the depreciation on a 3 crore G-Wagon, the 580 EQ, will be about 2.5 crores. So the book value becomes 50 lakhs at the end of 5 years. On 2.5 crores, you save about 70 lakhs in tax. The interest that you pay on the loan is also deductible. वहाँ पर भी 15 लाख बच जाते हैं. Opportunity cost of taking a loan instead of putting the money up front. The money stays reinvested. So over 5 years, inflation adjusted, that's another 1 crore. Book value is 50 lakhs, but the market value is obviously higher. There's a profit to be made there also, even after tax. There are so many ways to structure money in terms of buying cars where your emotions become financially smart.
I rented out my milk to the company. To pay rent out of it. So
there you go.
I know.
So plenty of ways. So be emotional. The idea is we are human. Be emotional. It's good to be emotional. It's good to be in love, be in passion. But when there is a way to do it smartly, you just have to choose the smarter route so that you can be a smart guy and an emotional guy at the same time, or a smart girl and an emotional girl at the same time. The perfect balance of EQ and IQ is what takes you really ahead.
So what's the psychology then? Tell me, this is one part of it. What's the psychology for buying and investing in futuristic cars and concept cars, which are not even there, and people put down deposits on cars like that, which are, it's like belonging to the vision of the future.
The idea is simple, right? In a world, now I'm going to keep this more broad. You spoke about futuristic cars. I'll speak about rare cars overall. Now, the idea is simple. In a world where 99.9% of everything is the same, at the end of the day, you can, there's too many common things everywhere in the world. So there's always a price on something that's very, very special. Something
It's
that's
rare.
VVS is going to be like always higher in demand. So if you're talking about like a concept car, a futuristic car, a vintage car which you have restored, a car which is a collectible, very, very
That's
rare
different.
to
That's I'll
find.
come to that topic
Yeah.
after this. But
So
first
on a
is
broader category, anything which is rare, which is not common, which you don't see anywhere else, it's always about demand supply, right? If the supply is bare minimum, but the eyes on it are a lot, and the demand is higher than the supply, then you deserve the price.
of course. So for vintage cars, that's true. So that I would still put it in the asset of investment. When you're putting money in a vintage car, and it would still go high in value because
Yeah.
इसको चीज ही नहीं है. Same goes with diamonds. So when we come to the topic of the segment of natural diamonds, so there it is still value when those natural diamonds are rare. But coming back to the futuristic car deposit, putting money on those are definitely not investments. So
What do you
that's-
mean by futuristic car?
So there are concept cars which come in which are not, you're not even sure
Yeah.
that they're going to be there, right? Like I've been hearing that there would be an ambassador.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
have you seen
I saw
that?
the Maruti 800
Correct.
updated
So
one
those
as
are
well.
those are the futuristic cars. Then I also saw a concept car with Land Rover sedan.
But I'll tell you what, I personally feel that this segment is actually very exciting and probably can be a good investment too. I'll tell you why. Hypothetically, I didn't even know that you can actually procure concept cars that easily for it to be a big thing.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't procure them, but you can put up. They take deposits. that
Oh,
if it
you're
will be
talking
there-
about like an early bid, like what the
Yes.
Tesla Cyberstore
Exactly.
had, or yeah, like
So
what the Tesla truck had.
You don't know
Oh, yeah,
as a
yeah,
consumer.
yeah,
You
yeah.
don't know how long it's going to take.
Oh my God, that's a whole other, like a whole another story. So there was a bit of confusion there. But now, did you hear about the entire Tesla scam that had happened on the Cyberstore?
No, which one?
So Tesla started taking bookings for the Cyberstore, which is again, it's a convertible, it's a sports car, extremely fast. It's like your Tesla supercar. So they started taking bookings of this somewhere around 6 to 7 years ago, right? I might be a little wrong with my range, but get the idea. So they started taking bookings way in advance, and they did the same thing for the Cybertruck as well. Now the designs absolutely blew everyone's mind, as it would. I mean, look at the Tesla Cyberstore, Tesla Roadster today, which is still to. In fact, it's still not out yet, I think, properly. And then you have the Cybertruck. Look at the designs; they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
But people that made the bookings upfront, like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, they had to wait those 6 to 7 years with no updates on when these vehicles are coming out. So yeah, that's something that it's a lot. I think that's actually like sort of like crypto. It's
Right.
instinctive. I'll tell you why. Think about an iPhone. The first gen iPhone, the very first iPhone that ever came. If you have an unpacked, unopened box of that at home today, that on eBay can fetch you maybe $20,000 to $30,000. So if you have,
Wow. So again, vintage.
so if you have an eye for something,
Yeah.
like if you want to really, really make a bet on the 0.001%, you can. But then 99.999% tells you that it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
So you're right about that.
But tell me, if money was irrelevant
Huh.
and you had to put down deposit on a concept car, which one would that be?
If money was irrelevant and if I had to put down a deposit on a concept car, it would have to be something in like the sports car range. Like, for example, now I wouldn't want them to do this, but if like a Bugatti came out with like an EV car, and if they had built a prototype, and if EV cars were like really gunning, like for Bugatti to make an EV car, that means Bugatti will like the EV industry has to be really booming at that point in time. I think that would be a good type of investment to make, like the first EV fastest car in the world, something like that, because that's something that could be rare. But otherwise, I wouldn't do it at
But
all.
tell me, with EV, now this question just came into my mind. Like I have a Cybertruck also in my US home. So
Oh, you do?
yeah, so
That's crazy.
But when you drive, it's a great drive,
Huh.
okay, in terms of the thrust, the power, everything. But then the throttle, the feel of a engine, petrol engine, I somehow like it.
Yeah.
I feel it's a toy car otherwise. I don't get the feel out of it.
No, that's definitely there. That's definitely there, and that's also like your psychological training, right?
It is.
Like
might
you've
be.
grown
The
up.
condition you're growing
You're
up.
conditioned growing up to an engine car. Now, this is a thing for us. Now, whenever a new industry is formed, when you think about like the electric car future, when you're thinking about a Tesla, or if you're thinking about any other brand that's moving towards fully electric, they're not just planning for our generation, they're planning for the next 5 generations. Now, people like you and I, millennials, people elder than millennials, and even a significant part of the Gen Z, they're aware about what a petrol engine or a diesel engine feels like. 50 years down the line, the people that have witnessed a petrol or a diesel car would be non-existent. The same thing is happening with automatic and manual. Like manual now is pretty much non-existent, in my opinion, at least in like
But
cosmopolitan
somehow I
cities.
see exactly
At
two-tier
least in
people.
yeah.
They still have this thing that gadi ka average.
But gradually with time, these type of feelings get phased out. Because
Right.
if
It's
if
all
no
about
one has driven a petrol or a diesel car, then they don't know the value of a throttle. So right now
Correct.
that
They don't
sentiment,
know what you don't know what you
right
don't
now
know.
that
Correct.
sentiment exists where we like it more. But the bet on EV is that in the future this sentiment won't exist, and that time they will only know a world of electric cars and it'll die out. But right now, for people like you and I, so I don't have an EV. I wouldn't buy an EV as my primary car. I love my petrol car. In fact, I don't even like diesel. I just like my pure petrol. So yeah, that's there, but we will be phased out
The
eventually.
only thing I love about the Tesla Cybertruck is the FSD.
Okay.
Full self-drive. It is so soothing, and because of obviously when you're traveling to the US and all, you don't get a chauffeur-driven car always. So that's a breezer there.
Over there, that's actually when you put it that way, when you don't get a chauffeur and labor is so expensive in the US, over there you can equate the price of the FSD alone. And I think Tesla has a subscription service for this
$200 a month.
$200 a month. It's like paying for a driver. So technically it's the same it's cheaper than paying for a driver in Mumbai. A driver in Mumbai would cost you 25,000 rupees minimum a month. And you're getting that at 20K. So technically
cheaper.
It's that, but it's robots doing it. No overtime, 24/7 availability whenever you need it. In fact, overtime when it's overtime, because the roads are empty, you get better drives out of it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, there are benefits of.
So that's the benefit
EVs.
of it, but I don't think it's ever coming to India.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think it can ever come to India. Even if I look into like
with Indians,
driving sense is secondary, but our infrastructure. Now, this isn't government banter. At the end of the day, it's a country with 1.5 billion people. And to be honest, we don't have that much space.
Correct.
Canada is bigger than us. China is bigger than us. Russia is bigger than us. The United States is bigger than us. Only so much you can do, If you have a small house, 10 people live inside the house, that house is going to be messy. It's going to be tough to maintain it. So yeah. So roads are not going to improve. Civic sense can be improved. I would like to see that maybe over the next 50 years, civic sense in India has significantly improved. That's very possible. Hopefully with AI, with more transparency, with better governance, with technology, these things do improve.
Technology is definitely
but infrastructure
governance.
will be tough.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't see FSD coming to India.
True.
Yeah.
But anyway, so now moving down from the topic of investment, cars being an emotional investment purchase or a logical investment, but it's not an investment. It's definitely emotional investment, but logically it's an expense. But logic doesn't prevail over here. So moving from that segment to diamonds. Finally, and what we are here to talk about also. So I would love to hear your opinion regarding diamonds as an investment, which is the funny part again is this thing is believed only in Bharat.
Diamonds as an investment, yeah, because everyone knows that diamonds are a depreciating asset. Sorry, not even a depreciating asset, a depreciating liability. Everyone knows that it's a depreciating liability.
Not everyone. So Rohit, that's what the interesting part is. You are with that concept. We met at the store. You were fascinated with it because you're a logical guy who himself breaks down things into pure logic, whether this works. And also, in fact, you are a balanced person who would take emotion and logic together.
I believe in emotion, but I like doing it logically.
Yeah,
the perfect balance EQ IQ.
Yeah, you can't exactly. That's what is needed, right? So, I interrupted you because you said everyone thinks though. But let me tell you, that's not the case. Like we deal with consumers daily at the Fiona Diamond store where we've been selling lab growns.
Yeah.
But the questions that people have and are so amazing. The first question is, does it have a buyback? A resale.
Yeah.
And our counter question to them is, do natural diamonds really have a resale?
Yeah.
So have you ever been experienced with resale of diamonds?
So see, this is my first time getting into diamonds, right? Okay. And I just knew that the logical thing, we'll get into the detailed conversations about this as we move on as well. Like in my mind, I was certain that lab grown diamonds is the way that I want to be going ahead. It's not even about...
How did you learn about them first?
So first of all, now I'm getting closer to the age where I have to get married. So obviously for my fiance, I came down to your shop, Lokhandwala shop, that's where I stay as well. And I just had a look at a few other rings. Now this was so early in my entire ideology of a diamond as well. So I knew nothing about diamonds when I walked in. Okay. I knew that, okay, in our parents' time, people used to buy organic diamonds, very, very expensive. And when you're getting married to someone, like one of the biggest upfront expenses that is going to come into the picture is an organic
But who
diamond
told
ring.
us all this?
This is all societal, right? So whatever you learn, whatever you have been brought up with, which is technically just rumors, myths, a bunch of different stuff, right? So just your social, social circles, that's what influences you. So the idea was always while growing up that organic diamonds are very, very expensive. But now this new lab-grown diamond thing has come into the market. They say it's 99.9% the same and it's significantly cheaper, 1/10. So I'm like, okay, let's come down, let's start having a look. And that entire world just blew my mind. And that's how you and I ended up meeting as well. One day I came so I first came to your shop to have a look for my own ring. Then I wasn't going to like propose at that point in time. So then I didn't have like I had a 1 year. No, I was sure, but because my girlfriend doesn't live in India, so because of that timing thing, I didn't have an exact date on when I need to propose. So I had a 1 year timeline or a 1.5 year timeline, and I was just doing early research. But now I knew about Fiona Diamonds. So then another friend of mine that was going to get married, and then another one. So I brought them also to your dealership, and that's how I started learning more and more about diamonds. And then I got into the history about how organic diamonds, blood diamonds, actually cause so much destruction to the environment, how they cause such a large level human level torture as well. Like at this point in time, I honestly believe that if you're buying your partner an organic diamond, your marriage is starting off on blood. It's a bloody diamond, and it's a marriage being started off with blood. That's like the level of belief that came into my mind.
Yeah, people don't want blood on their fingers when they're
I mean, how can you, like, when you get married, you go to a temple, you donate money for good karma, right? You go to a temple, you seek blessings, you put some money, that's what you do. At the same time, you're also buying an organic diamond for your partner, which has a lot of human torture, child torture, human slavery, those mining cities. I could go on and on, which we probably will. But at the same time, you're funding a diamond which pays for human torture. So you're paying for blood at one end, and at the other end, you're putting money in a temple seeking blessings. If that's not hypocritical, then I don't know what is. And I can go on with analogies. I
have one more interesting analogy, like you know Jains. Jain, they do not eat or consume anything which is below the earth.
I was thinking about that just last night. So even Gujaratis, even Marwadis, many.
So diamonds grown below the earth should not. Those are non-Jain diamonds.
Oh, that's actually very interesting. I never thought about it in the Jain way.
I think it's a Jain diamond.
Yeah, so that's actually a very interesting point. But more importantly, when you're a vegetarian or if you're vegan, what's your belief? You're doing it because you don't want animal cruelty. But at the same time, if you're buying an organic diamond which has been mined, see, diamonds can be found in small, really tiny places underground, and people like you and I can't fit inside. So what does the diamond industry do? They use babies. Babies can go inside.
Correct.
So an industry which is killing babies for an organ and child labor, and in mining cities, and they're locked in those cities, they're tortured, they are born there, they live there, they die there, they're buried there. So if you are okay with the murder of all of these people and the torture of all of these people, and you tell me you're vegetarian or you're vegan, then that's also like just
it's the same thing like using leather and saying you're a vegan.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's just straight up garbage if I have to be very, very honest.
But I'll tell you another very interesting, twisted fact about the diamond industry. So I'm sure, like many others, you would think that, see, with all due respect, I love natural diamonds. It's a great form of nature. It's a great gift from nature. The point is, like the while ago we were discussing, if you were getting a G-Wagon produced by some other company with the same features and build, you would consider it because of the price being cheaper. And that's still engineering. But over here, we are talking about components of optics, chemical, physical, and those qualities of brilliance in a diamond. So those were never seen before or achieved by any other stone in nature or made synthetically. People have tried over the years to make it. So my question is, most people believe that natural diamonds takes millions of years to form. Do you think that's true?
First of all, we need to understand that, okay, I'm going to separate the core fundamentals of this lab grown versus organic diamond debate. Okay, let me break it down. Now, for 99.9% of the people, it's about the money, right? It's cheaper. But the 0.01% of the people that say it has to be that emotional choice, we need to buy it because not every decision in life is about money. Let me tell you, every single person that, so this is why I get pissed off about organic diamonds. Let me move human torture to the entire side. Let's forget human torture is happening at all. Let's take that 99.9% price, that 10x lesser price aside as well. At the end of the day, do you really want to be a victim of De Beers marketing, which is basically
Exactly.
being a sheep?
Yeah.
Like, everyone wants to pride themselves about having a voice of their own, about having a mind of their own. Everyone thinks they're smart, but the entire supply. Now, let's get to a factual question. Gold is an asset. Gold appreciates. Gold is rare. Diamonds are believed to be rare, but they depreciate. Anything that is rare
So hold on.
should
See,
not.
when you say they depreciate, this is because I'm cutting
Yeah.
you there because we keep getting a lot of comments
Yeah.
always where people argue with us that natural diamond appreciate. Now, this is the biggest misconception and myth.
So let's break the myth right here. You're in the lab grown diamond business.
Yeah.
I'm a financial influencer with some credibility. I have a degree
Right,
from the London
right.
School of Economics. For everyone watching this, diamonds do not appreciate. Diamonds always depreciate. It's a liability, not an asset. You're losing money at all points in time.
Yes, and
Straight up.
why so? And I'll break it down further.
Yeah.
And it's a very basic business angle, right? And diamonds are retail.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, see, when we talk about investment in commodities, it has to be at the right price.
Exactly.
Let's do step
Fair
by step.
price.
If you're buying something at a retail price, the retailer has already made a margin of 30-40%.
Exactly.
Because that's below that, a retail setup structure cannot exist. So the consumers, after paying 30-40% more to a retailer, still think that they're investing. So for an example, a natural diamond of 1 carat, say it's for 3 lakhs
Yeah.
of a certain grade and quality, which you've bought it in retail. The cost of that to a retailer is not over 2 lakhs.
Exactly.
So when you buy it and try to sell it to someone other than the same retailer, to me the cost is 2 lakhs.
Yeah.
Why would I pay you 2 lakhs for the thing which I can buy anytime from the market for 2 lakhs? I would want to get it from you at 1.5. And that's where the consumer loses value and they are offered half the price of what they invested in. So it can never be an investment.
Similar to what happens in the world of buying a car as well, right? Like I told you, when you're going to make such purchases, you just get so emotional at points in time where it's easy to make money off of you. Those are the moments which salespeople and business people feast upon to get you emotional.
Absolutely.
And yes, a marriage is a very, very emotional time. You get married once. I mean, most people would like to be married only once in their lives.
Yeah.
And you want to show your wife or your husband that you love them a lot. And that's why you're buying a wedding ring.
Yes.
And then those questions come that let's not equate your love to money. I mean, people equate love to money while saying they're not equating it to money. They're like, show me how much you love me by showing me how much you're willing to spend on my ring.
Correct.
The larger the ring, oh my God,
Absolutely.
you love me a lot more.
Yeah.
The more expensive, no, you're buying me lab grown. Okay, if you're buying me lab grown, then don't tell me it's lab grown.
Yeah.
Why are you equating your love to money?
Exactly.
I could be Jeffrey Epstein, okay? I'm sorry, I could not be Jeffrey Epstein, but let's say that Jeffrey Epstein, he has a shit ton of money, a billionaire. He wants to propose to you and gets you a 10 carat ring, an organic diamond from the dirtiest, most human trafficking, most human torturous mine from South Africa. It's whatever, fanciest color, he gets it for you. What does that signify about love? Nothing.
Yeah.
So if you're equating money to love, then that's already like a very bad comparison in my mind to begin with. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's all marketing hype. First of all, there's another thing. As of today as well, in terms of the market, many people believe that De Beers still has the largest stock of diamonds.
They've
like
already
80-90%, and which they're not selling.
Yeah.
And they have 80 to 90% stock still just left with them, which they are not opening up to the market to create an artificial supply to make you believe that there is... it's rare.
They're rare.
But it's not rare. It never has been. During the World War, so diamonds were discovered in South Africa before the World War by De Beers. They bought out all the mines. They started they started, They started controlling the supply. Then the World War came. The demand for these diamonds fell, right? And at that point in time, they're like, okay, the demand is non-existent, but we still need to sell our diamonds because we own all of these mines.
Right.
So what do? They created an artificial supply problem, telling people that, sure, right now the war is going on. You might not have a lot of money, but hey, there's not a lot of diamonds left in the world. So the little money that you have
Yeah.
left, please
Invest
give
in
it to
diamonds,
us.
yeah.
That's how it happened. Then the World War ended. They hired very good marketing agencies within the US. They did that later on in Japan and
Diamond is
conquered the
forever.
market. Diamond is forever. Diamonds are a woman's best friend. They took market shares for diamond rings from 10% to 90% in periods of 10 to 15 years, a little over a decade, by giving it to celebrities, by influencing
Yeah.
people through music, through
Yeah.
movies, complete
The best sell
societal
was
control.
the best, the best
Yeah.
sell by them was having this in the culture that if you don't spend 3x of your salary on a diamond ring,
The
you
campaign
don't
was
love her
2
enough.
months of your salary. Yeah,
3
2
months, they
months.
made it
3
3 months
months.
then, yes.
There you go. 3 months of your salary. If you're not willing
You
to
don't
spend
love
that
her
on a
enough.
marriage, so you're equating love to money.
Yeah, and they put this in the head of our girls.
I mean, yeah,
So-
to each their own. But yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, you just need to understand where you're at, because whenever you say you want an organic diamond and you state any of those reasons, I won't say much, but I'll just tell you this one thing. If you have any of those emotional statements which you just made, you are nothing but brainwashed, and you
Yeah.
like it, believe it or not, you are a sheep. Because technically, factually, none of the things that you're saying are true. Money does not equal love. There is no scarcity of diamonds. It does not appreciate. It's bad in
But
absolutely
this is
every
the
single
biggest
sense.
lie.
So technically, you've just been sold a De Beers marketing campaign and societal conditioning.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't make you brainwashed, then I don't know what does. And if
Yes.
that doesn't make you a sheep, then I don't know what does. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, but now coming back to, actually we're talking about so many things. Coming back to my original question, that about do the biggest lie or twisted fact being told to everyone by De Beers is that diamonds take millions of years to form. Do you think that's true?
Millions of years to form. I honestly do not think they take millions of years to form, because I'll tell you what I believe, right? I'm going to think about this being, break it down like a smart mind word. I think this is like an infrastructure. I think the infrastructure of now getting organic diamonds probably took a million years to form, up to the point where diamonds started getting discovered by humanity in a large volume. But now that that infrastructure exists, I think we're just plucking out from the massive source that was formed over a million
No,
years.
so
That's my opinion.
I'll state one more fact.
Huh.
So the youngest diamond, if you look at it,
Huh.
it is millions of years old.
Okay.
That's true. No new diamonds are being formed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Whatever
true.
has been formed, we're
Correct.
plucking from that
But
now.
the thing is, they're millions of years old,
Huh.
but they're found now because of the disruption in the Earth cycle, the volcanoes, because of which the down hidden diamonds are coming out. But they were formed millions of years ago, does not mean they took millions of years to form.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So it is a beautifully twisted fact which no one thinks about. But the moment I tell them this, then they're like, oh yeah, of course. It's not that one chemical reaction or
Yeah.
a carbon crystallization is taking millions of years ago. So if you break down, and this is all coming down from
Oh yeah,
the
now I'm
way.
getting it. Yeah.
So how lab-grown diamonds? How did scientists for the first time could even think that they could make a diamond?
Yeah.
Because they went deep that what does it really take for a diamond to form? It takes a particular amount of heat, pressure, and temperature.
Yeah.
And heat also is not taken too much. It's more under pressure. Pressure is more of an important thing. So deep down in the Earth's crust or on a particular pressure, when these conditions they're conducive to form a diamond, what is it? It is a carbon to a carbon bond, covalent
The
bond,
same thing that goes into a pencil.
right? Which is a graphite. So yeah, interesting. So the process when the lava is come out, where does the carbon come from? It's from the volcanic lava.
Yeah.
So when the lava is under a pressure and it condenses at a particular speed, it crystallizes into diamonds. If that process is little bit slow, it turns into graphite. Imagine which is super soft.
Yeah.
And if it is this particular condition, only then it turns into which is called a carbon slide within the Earth's tectonic plates, in which diamond is formed during that condition. It stays and lives there, because of which in the carbon dating process you come to know that this is old. So it is miracle by the Earth. I definitely value it.
Yeah.
But my problem with everyone is, under the pretext of investment, if you're buying it for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
If you see heirloom diamonds, like the rarest of the diamonds, Golconda mine diamonds,
Yeah.
Kohinoor diamonds, I respect those are valuable. Those
That
are really
red
rare.
ruby diamond.
Red
that,
ruby, the pink
the
diamond,
Mughals,
blue diamonds. So these are colored diamonds which are
Yeah.
really rare.
Like vintage cars.
Like vintage
Yeah,
cars.
like vintage cars.
So I value those. I would get those which can be passed on from generation.
Yeah, and which actually hold like a unique amount
And
of
it
value.
will hold value. You can auction it on Sotheby's
Yeah.
and Christie's. So that's a different game altogether. But
Yeah.
if you're telling me that you want to splurge on diamond, you want to buy it for adornment, lab grown is the only way to go.
Yeah.
Because like a while ago we were also discussing that with this people get like you would get excited, oh now I can make a tennis bracelet, I would make
Yeah.
a brooch, look at this brooch we made. So
I mean,
this
yeah.
this is so our belief is lab grown gives you the freedom to create the impossible.
Exactly.
Recently
Because it's a lot more affordable as well, right? And
Yeah.
it gets you so many things.
So it makes the impossible possible. You can
Yeah.
cut it in different shades. There is no fear of wastage. It doesn't cost so much.
Wait, technically, we could also make like a carbon copy of, like, for example, that red ruby that the Mughals used to have. You can make that with lab-grown diamonds
so
as well, right?
Achieving colors in lab grown is also very challenging
Okay.
in the growing process because you have to deal with certain proportion of gases. The color in the diamond comes from nitrogen and boron. And those are also very difficult to get the same shade of pink again and again.
Wow.
So I have my team with me and me myself. We all tech guys,
Yeah.
turned jewelers. So we created these design using AI.
Oh, wow.
So we have a integration on our website. We put in an app wherein you can describe your jewelry.
Okay.
You can put in your budget and it will instantly give you a design. So this was designed by AI. We have cars, we have owls, we have god pendants, we have different kinds of birds,
Yeah.
hornbill to beautiful enameling and hand painting, which are using different color stones as well and different shapes of diamonds. Imagine this is such a beautiful gift. You can gift it. Now this card is just 55,000.
So now you're telling me that if I want, let's say, a matte black Porsche 911 GT3 RS, okay?
We will
If I
create it
want
for
that
you.
and I want it iced out with diamonds, you
So
can actually.
here we have this iced out Enzo Ferrari, which is made in
I need to
silver.
show this to the camera.
Yeah.
You guys have no idea what this feels like. These are the perks of being a content creator, because you meet people like Parag who give you an iced out thing. Now, this is how much? How much
This
is
is
this
6
for?
lakhs.
6 lakh
It's
rupees.
silver and 1,500 diamonds studded.
See, I never told you guys not to be spending money, right? I said spend money smartly. If you're rich, I mean, think about this. Like, I'm seeing this right now. If I'm a rich guy, I have a passion for Hot Wheels, but I have a lot of money on the planet. I'm not buying myself an Hot Wheels. I'm buying this. Exactly. So using your AI, you're telling me that I can make myself like a matte black Porsche. I can put black lab-grown diamonds on it and make like a beautiful piece. And that would cost me like under 10 lakh rupees.
Absolutely. Much lesser than that.
Yeah.
And we can design it as a pendant for you. This can be
I need to see that again.
We
I need
sold
to
it to
feel
a
this
Ferrari
again.
owner. You know what he told me? That I can't get my Ferrari in the boardroom, so this is for that. I'll
Getting
keep it as a
goosebumps.
paperweight.
I'm getting goosebumps just holding this. And you have to think about how, like, this is a
It
gift.
drives.
This is a gift. I mean, if I had to get this as a gift, yeah, I mean, I would look at it, I'll be like, this is the rarest of the rarest gifts you can imagine. But even this is what unique means. I didn't have to kill any humans for this. That's more
So let
important.
I tell you what,
Yeah.
why we're becoming popular. Now imagine you're going for a big fat Indian wedding. Like you went to Udaipur recently.
Yeah,
right?
but I didn't
was
go
it
for a wedding.
Okay,
No.
anyway. So if you're going for a big wedding,
Yeah.
to a wealthy friend's wedding, what would you gift him?
The toughest question.
It's
You
the
know
toughest
why?
question, right? They have
Because
everything.
how do you give something to... So this is actually a very interesting story, and I'm glad you brought it up. So I'm huge. Like, I love Western music quite a bit. And like, there's this one artist, Chris Brown, that I like
Yeah, I
a lot.
know.
So it was Chris Brown's birthday birthday was coming up. And like, there was this interview with this other rapper by the name of French Montana, who was pretty close to Chris Brown. And they're like, what are you gifting him for his birthday? And he's like, what do you gift someone that already has everything?
Exactly.
So what he did was he made a handmade painting. He's like, this is invaluable because you've put effort into it. So you've gifted the person a painting. So that becomes, but then again, so you're gifting someone a painting, but that doesn't have monetary value as well. Now, for someone that cares about monetary value, maybe it might not work. But something like this, I personally feel this involves creativity, because even if you're going and using like an AI platform like yours, I'm going to check it out. If I use your AI platform and I create something which I know a friend of mine likes, like a rich friend, let's say I had that money. If I create that design through my vision and if I get it iced out, I'm giving something which has monetary value.
Exactly.
It's created out of my passion, my idea of what I want to give you. So it's a mix of money and creativity at the same time. More importantly, it's unique. You can't go to a shop and you can't find this. If you go to a normal jewelry shop in Lokhandwala, Bandra, wherever, they'll have pre-made pieces. But the very fact that you're actually bringing in technology, and that's the benefit of being like a technology guy.
Exactly. So the beauty, so for us, the most important thing, like you would know a little backstory that we were the first ones to introduce lab grown to India, and
You told me that,
we
yeah.
were outcasted from the industry. Like the lab growns were not allowed to be trained, so we were like the Amir Khan of
Messing
the
with De
industry.
Beers.
Yeah, we were messing with De Beers. Our stores were shut down at
Yeah.
one point in 2016 or something, where we were not allowed to sell it in the IHS show. So all of that had happened. But now it's become mainstream, where Tata has come up into lab grown diamond and everyone wants to do it. But how do you stand out different? We are not, it's not about lab grown, it's about what you do with it. So, since it gives us the freedom to play with luxury, and it is an emotional plus, being in India, it is also a very calculated purchase when it comes to jewelry, because हमारी मम्मी का influence चलता है, then to people who've been buying it since a long time, they would try to influence you. But with this thing, what we did, the creation with AI, we created such pieces which could be used as a wedding gift. So recently we've created for someone in Patna. He sent us picture of his twins, kids. I'll show it to you. It's going to blow you away. So he sent a picture of his kids. We made such a beautiful brooch out of it.
I'm actually regretting spending time with you right now. You know why?
Yeah.
Because as you're talking about those kids, I'm thinking about two dogs I have back at home.
For
and
a
now
dog,
I'm like,
I created for a friend. The dog's picture. Now
you're going to make me spend lakhs of rupees just in these
Absolutely.
conversations with you.
Absolutely. So see, with this kid's picture, we created
Yeah.
this.
Oh my God.
Let me
Oh
show
my
you
God.
the brooch we made out
Yeah.
of it. That's going to blow your mind.
Oh, shit.
You're going to have a cut out of this.
So,
This
all those
event
conversations
so
we were talking
grateful to
about
us.
lab-grown diamonds and love. Like, you're talking about how organic diamonds are needed to show love. If you can get your creativity out and make something out of the lab-grown diamonds, then I don't even think you can challenge someone saying that they don't love you.
Exactly. The effort, the thought.
Everything
the features,
exists
everything.
in a modern way.
We are now making a brooch of border movie for Ahan Shetty. We are going to gift it to him.
Oh,
There are-
nationalistic vibes as well. That's crazy.
Yes, so it's border 2, a brooch, beautifully designed by AI, and with hand painted enamel on it, with lab growns encrusted, and he's going to get that. Plus, we're doing something for Ori. He made some comments on our
Really?
place. Yeah,
Oh,
so he loved it.
oh.
He loved our AI designs,
Yeah.
the neck pieces, and so certain pieces he loved. So we are making a caricature for him.
While we're talking about Ori, let me show you another. Let me tell you another reason why he's actually so smart. So first of all, now that's the double whammy for me. Now the fact that I found out that Ori is actually buying things from you as well. I know he's actually
not buying, but he likes things on our Insta page.
So he likes the things on your Instagram page, and you said you're going to be making something for him.
Yeah.
So Ori drives around in this fancy blue, pink
G-Wagon,
G-Wagon,
yeah, I've
the
seen that.
GLS as well. You would have seen him
Yeah,
in the
I've seen
GLS
it,
Maybach
yes.
as well.
Yeah.
Now, what if I tell you he actually doesn't even own those cars? Like he's flexing, so now you're going to be like, no, wait. So he's flexing a lifestyle he doesn't have. That's actually not true. So I actually got nosy about this story about Ori, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So I saw that Ori is driving around in these fancy cars and his license plate number is visible. Now the
So you scanned
government,
it? Yeah.
government through its Vahan portal
Yeah,
allows
yeah.
you to see who owns the car. So I found out that his car's registration is actually under the name of this corporate leasing company by the name of Mahesh Transport. back to the point where I said 99% of the people don't know what to do with their money when they're buying things like diamonds or cars. Now think about it. You see a person like Ori that's living a lifestyle that even the rich can't fathom, and yet he is smart enough to know that cars are a depreciating asset. I want the emotion of owning a G-Wagon or a GLS Maybach, but corporate
man.
lease. The tax savings he gets on those cars are phenomenal. Many people say that it's Mukesh Ambani that has gifted them the cars. Regardless, if Mukesh Ambani has gifted him the cars and Ori hasn't paid for it, then you have to understand that the big boss is super smart. Mukesh Ambani didn't buy it on his name or Reliance's name. It's a leased car. There are tax savings. So rich people too do things smartly. You just need to be smart enough to segregate emotion from smartness, and you make good decisions.
It's the same thing with what people do with paintings, you know that, right? Donate it to your own trust.
Donate a tax. Oh my god. Oh my god. Or like all the billionaire philanthropists as well. Yeah, I'm a $100 billion net worth guy and I'm donating $50 billion to a trust. Yeah, I know who's going to get that trust in the end, but yeah, it's all just...
So according to you, so luxury, is luxury, people buy luxury to impress or express?
Most people buy luxury to impress these days because of social media, I would say. Everyone is in love with all the Gucci's and the LVs and the Pradas and the Porsches. So a lot of people are doing it for the camera. In fact, there's a very interesting statement that has been going around these days. If cameras did not exist, would you do 90% of the things that you do? If cameras did not exist, would you go skydiving? If cameras did not exist, would you stay at 5-star hotels? If cameras did not exist, would you buy yourself branded clothes? So a lot of the people do spend on luxury to impress. A few people, the classy people or the people that have been that were born into money and are generationally rich, they probably do it to express as well because they've gotten past the point of money actually being used to impress. And when you think about expressing, I think about pieces like this. When I think about, I'm sorry, I'm just obsessed. So you think about pieces like this when you're thinking about expressing yourself. But I think more people spend money to impress. And that's why women or men both would rather say that, show me how much you love me based on how much you spend on the ring size. If that's not impressing your friends group.
They're not gold diggers.
I'm not going to get into the conversation of being a gold digger or not as well. But if you are within your friend circle talking about your partner dependent on the carat size that they got you or whether it's organic lab grown and talking about that showing the love, then we know what the mindset is.
But
that's another story.
The feedback we get and the experience is we make such amazing engagement rings that the girl says yes to the ring even if she says no to you.
I mean, that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. So I visited your shop with my partner and she obviously loved the ring. I mean, if at the end of the day she wouldn't have loved it and she wouldn't have found value in it, I might have had to buy an organic diamond too at the end of the day. But luckily...
No, you can change it. I mean, the girlfriend.
No, that's not something I would have done. But in the end, thankfully, like my partner agreed to the fact and the same vision. So with lab growns, we got the vision executed, which we want. And luckily, we can be blood free, touch wood. So that's always there. Believers of God and believers of good humanity at the end of the day. You can't be a believer in God and also be a supporter of organic diamonds, in my opinion. If you believe in God, you need to good to humanity. And diamonds are more.
My take is, so beyond the conversation of it being real, fake, natural, organic. The idea is be logical. If it is giving you the same brilliance, luster, and sustainability, it's not that the luster is for a limited time. It's going to stay forever. This is forever.
It is. And
when De Beers tells you that diamonds are forever, it doesn't tell you that it's forever with you. So on that note, I think people have to understand that whether they ever give it back. One long hauling debate is people keep blaming lab-grown diamond for its falling prices and they assume that with time it will become zero. Nothing ever becomes zero, right? Because nobody's talking about the natural diamond prices fallen by 50-60%.
And I'll tell you one more thing, okay? When we're thinking about numbers, when we're thinking about money, it's not always about percentage. It's also about absolute values.
Exactly.
I'll give you an idea. Now, let's say that you want to buy your partner a 5 carat ring. Now a 5 carat ring, I know this because I've done the math with you, you guys as well. Now a 5 carat ring is going to cost you in lab grown somewhere around 2,20,000 rupees, depending on the cut clarity, the ratios, those type of things. It's going to cost you somewhere about
2 lakhs, let's say.
over a little 2 lakhs
220,
rupees. But the same thing in organic would be very, very expensive.
More than
the
a crore.
same the same,
Same
exactly
grade?
same grade. When you bring it into context, it's 1 crore. Now let's assume hypothetically that the rumors are myths are true. Let's say a lab grown loses 50% of its value. For example, I'm not even saying the numbers are right. Let's say a lab grown loses 50% and an organic loses 40%. A 50% loss on 2 lakh rupees is 1 lakh rupees in absolute value. A 40% loss on 1 crore is 40 lakhs in absolute value.
Yeah.
So, and now think about money, right? When you think about it from an investment point of view, if you lose 1 lakh rupees, nothing happens. If you lose 40 lakh rupees even compounds at faster rates.
Yeah.
So you're losing higher compounding. So that 40%, it's not 40% versus 50%, it's absolute values. Another analogy, if you're a person that makes 10,000 rupees per month, if you invest 20% of your income into the stock market, you're investing 2,000 rupees. If you're making 10 lakh rupees a month, and if you're investing into the stock market, investing 2 lakhs. The person that's investing 2 lakhs is investing the same percentage, but compounding helps him gain and become a lot richer.
Correct.
So you have to think about depreciation in absolute values.
Yeah.
If I'm a diamond seller, if I have an organic diamond mine, these are the exact things which I want to brainwash you by.
Yeah.
So
So we have done that brainwashing. More than brainwashing, we have done that truth telling to people, and people who have believed in us and understood the logic, they really bless us. For example, 3 years back, I've done with someone, a customer, we said, okay, you have these natural diamonds of 2 carat each. Why don't you return them for cash in the market? And by whoever you bought it from. So maybe you'll take a hit of loss of some 10-20%. So the pair was around 25 lakhs for the 2 carat each. They replaced it with a 4 carat pair, which costed them some 2.5 lakhs for the pair. Got 25 lakhs for these diamonds, and the saved money of 22 lakhs, they put it in gold. Today, that gold is more than double. So imagine your lab groans are free, your gold investment is gone up. So there could not be any better investment.
Another thing also, I was thinking about it. So when I was getting my quote for the ring that I'm also buying from you, there is 4 grams of 18 karat gold inside that. That appreciates.
That appreciates.
You know, so that was one of the mistakes I did. I told you how I started coming to you about a little over a year ago, and rather than buying my ring at that point in time because I didn't know when I'd propose, I waited and I got all my other friends. In that last 1 year, gold prices increased so much. My quote for the ring that I was buying from you went up from 157 to 205.
See?
So 50,000 appreciation happened just because of the gold value. On top of that, you also offer buybacks and those type of things.
Correct.
So technically, you are holding value even in lab growns.
Yeah.
And like I said about the absolute values.
So what happens, Rohit? Most people assume that there is no buyback with lab growns.
Yeah.
While brands like us, and we are the pioneers in lab grown, we've been giving buyback to them since but the question is, nobody comes back for buyback. At the max, they come back to exchange when they're bored with design or they want an upgrade in the size.
That's actually pretty cool in a way. Now that you mentioned that people can come back when they want to upgrade designs, you need to understand that in this world of social media doom scrolling that we're all doing, our minds, like our attention span has dropped so much that we get bored of things very quickly. Now, previously, our parents would buy a car, hold it for 15 years, whereas I get bored of a car in 5 years or 3 years, many people, 2 years like you. So same thing can also happen for a wedding ring. Now, something that, and I'm going to talk see, this is a purchase that people make with emotion. So let's imagine that people are spoiled. It's good to be spoiled. And let's say you select a lab-grown diamond ring at the age of 30. Now, 2-3 years down the line, you are bored of that design. You liked it 3 years ago, you don't like it anymore. You can just replace it in for changing the design. And because it's very possible with the things that you have, that actually allows you. That's exactly one of the benefits of corporate leasing when you think about a car. When I spoke about the Ori point. Yeah, in leasing, you can just switch cars. So you're getting that in lab-grown diamonds too.
When you can't do that with partners, at least do it with your luxury items.
And now even if I was to assume that organic diamond companies started allowing you to have a leasing plan where you can switch diamonds around, when I put it into the more unethical thought of it, that's like you just switching from one motor to another motor between the organic diamonds.
Yeah,
So from an
true.
ethical point of view as well, like that just sounds so wrong. The
Yeah,
lab
true
growns
that.
fix that.
But
Yeah.
to fix the transparency issue, we came up with a very interesting feature on our website, which is the auction platform.
Okay.
Now, with all the debate of the lab grown prices, everybody's selling it for a different price, and people, as a consumer, when I look at it, of course, you should and you must connect with the consumer what they want. They get confused that different brands are selling it at a different price, while they being the same color clarity. And now there is so much information available with ChatGPT to Google that people do all the research. So, what is the correct pricing? There has to be some cost on the designing, the finish of the jewelry, the brand value, the policy that the brand is going to keep up. So, to rise above that, we got a gamification experience on the website, which is an auction platform.
Okay.
So, on this platform, what happens is once in 15 days or once a month on special occasions, we put certain products on auction.
Okay.
So this auction is like a game
Huh.
wherein, let's say, for example, article jewelry piece which is for 1 lakh MRP, it would start the auction with say 30,000 rupees, and you can bid in the multiples of 1,000 rupees to
and
win
then-
that product. So the highest bidder gets the product for that price.
These are
It's
early. You just launched this, right?
is that we are doing it since a year.
You're doing it since a year.
So people love it. They buy it for gifting. They buy it to flex it within the group to get a good deal out of it.
That's
So we
exactly.
gave the chance to the consumer, though we get losses in that. But the idea is to get popularity and people
Yeah.
talking about us and giving the freedom to. for
This
them
is
to do so.
exactly what I said. The first time I walked into your dealership and I had a look at the rings and I started thinking about the possibilities that the doors that open up. Now, I am a guy that likes jewelry, by the way.
Okay.
It's just that I haven't made that much money to go out and buy all the fancy jewelry ideas that come to my
We
mind.
have a 9+1 scheme, Rohit, where you can deposit money.
So I love rap music, right? And a lot of the rappers that I listen to talk about iced out watches, like they want an
Absolutely, yeah,
iced out
yeah.
AP, they want an iced out
You should get a
Rolex.
Cuban.
Yeah, they want Cuban links and all those tennis bracelets. And now with lab grown diamonds, that's what happened. When I first walked into your dealership, I was like, shit, this is an end. And the same thing my girlfriend told me the other day as well. You are putting me on very expensive luxury tastes because the world of possibilities once you enter a dealership like yours is crazy.
Yes.
Then you have things like this auction. Now I'm thinking to myself, now I'm getting hardwired to actually start looking for discounts because I'm already fascinated with what you guys can do. Exhibit A again, I'm already fascinated with what you guys can do. Now, if you're telling me there's an auction and I can get good discounts, I, as a buyer, am already very interested. I'll bring
Exactly.
another story in, by the way. So in my journey of a content creator, my most viral reel till date was about car auctions. Okay.
Wow,
So
that's
the hook
interesting.
was
Tell me about it.
you can buy yourself a brand new 12 lakh rupee car for just 3 lakh rupees, and I bet you didn't know this. That's the hook. And the idea is that you can get a brand new 12 lakh rupee car for 3 lakh rupees. Now the thing is, here's what most people don't know. When people buy cars, they buy them on loans. And when someone defaults on a loan, what happens? The bank
It goes
seizes
on
the
auction,
vehicles.
yeah.
The bank seizes the vehicle. Now, the bank doesn't want the car. They want their money back.
Yeah.
So what do? They put it on the auction website. And that's how you can get a 12 lakh rupee car for 3 lakh rupees.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that market is so informal that there are people that are hunting for these discounts so that they can buy it and then sell it in the second-hand market. So it
Correct.
becomes very tough because of how informal it is. But you're bringing that same experience in the world of
Jewelry.
diamonds. Now, yours aren't pieces that have been seized or anything like that. They're just
Nothing.
your pieces
They're
which
new
you're
pieces.
giving.
They're not even
Yeah.
used pieces.
Exactly.
The
They're
beauty
brand
is-
new, unused
It's
pieces.
just gamification.
Yeah.
We call it a game more than
Exactly.
an auction. It's a game where people are bidding a war against each other, and it's about winning the product at that particular price.
Yeah.
It's a zeal, it's an excitement. So
This world is absolute. I mean, spending this last 1 hour with you is just like opening up my mind in so many ways. It's like I just want to come to you with my Amex Platinum, hand it to you. It has unlimited spend
that would
limit.
be nice. We
Swipe it
accept
up.
that.
So I'll take it out from my bag right now.
The interesting would be, if you
Yeah.
want to plan a surprise gift for your girlfriend and future wife. So
Yeah.
such things, the cute little things of her pendant, or maybe both of you together holding hands,
Yeah.
and any gesture we could plan for you. Like we did one of that where they are on the groom is on the horse and it was like a pendant for the girl.
Yeah.
So we can create immense memories. Your pet photo on a locket.
You know what I'm thinking right now? When we talk about the statement where people are like, if you're buying lab grown diamonds, you don't love me enough. Now I'm just thinking that if the person is buying you a lab grown diamond and if you're not, and if they don't, I mean, if there's that element that they don't love you, that's just a person problem, because the options of creativity, the amount of emotion you can put into designing a very curated piece, like my girlfriend and I holding hands. We were in Udaipur right now. One of the things that we did at the resort we were staying at, the Ananta in Udaipur, beautiful property. So they had this crafts guy over there. He made us hold hands, put
And
it
a mold?
into, yes, we molded that, and my girlfriend loved it. We brought it back. And those are the type of emotions that people really love, right? Now, if you're telling me I can create maybe a very identical, with AI and with technology, I'm sure you can create an identical fit.
We did that. What we did once was an engagement ring. It was a commitment ring for someone who wanted to give it to his girlfriend. It was gold hands holding like these. Hands of the partners in miniature form.
Yeah.
So we can even print your thumb, your pet's thumb, your fingerprint on the ring, and give it to you. So this is extreme customization, extreme personalization.
So it's not even about money or creativity or love anymore. It's about ideas. And so these are the things. So when we think about it right now, this is a common thought that I often get to my mind. So the idea is that these horizons are basically like doors. The more doors you enter, the broader your horizons become. Now, for somebody thinking that lab-grown diamonds don't show love, don't show creativity, don't show passion, you're only saying that because you don't know the world of lab-grown diamonds, or at least you don't know the world of lab-grown diamonds through Fiona, because I don't know how many other people do this. Because if you're telling me I can make custom pieces with any particular type of setting and I can spend an absurd amount of money as well. Now, so someone asked me a question, like my friend, right? If you had the money, would you buy a Tata or would you buy yourself a Lamborghini? Now, so money is not the thing in lab growns. If I want to spend 1 crore at your shop, I bet I can spend 1 crore at your shop, but that 1 crore will get me murder-free beauty, which shows creativity, love, everything.
So we've done mostly luxury weddings we've done. There was a wedding going to happen in Bali. So this gentleman, he spent 3.5 crores in lab-grown diamond jewelry with us, who otherwise had a budget of 15 crores. He could buy more jewelry in 3.5 crores. And said I could give gold to my daughter. See, even if no matter how wealthy you are, 15 crores is also a budget. 15 lakhs is also a budget. So
if you're wealthy,
then you can do more.
When you have all the money in the world, it also comes down to how much style, how much class, and how much taste do you have. Because you can become really
so if your girlfriend says no to lab grown, tell her the size you're getting her.
Exactly.
Tell her you're getting her a 10 carat.
Or show her the design.
It's not cheap.
Exactly.
It's not cheap.
Exactly.
Like this car, 6 lakhs is not small money.
Exactly. This is as expensive as a Rolex. A Rolex Submariner, if you get it for a very good price, you'd end up spending about 6 lakh rupees for that as well. So this is not cheap. 6 lakh rupees, you can buy yourself a Tata Punch, the new Tata Punch that just launched. So technically, this is more expensive than a Tata Punch. And if someone tells you when you gift them this piece that you don't like them enough, that you're being cheap, then clearly it's not the lab-grown diamond that's at fault. It's the person and the mindset, because you can spend money and create beautiful pieces with lab-grown
diamonds. For example, this brooch, the car brooch I'm wearing, this was, guess how much is this one for?
This one, I mean...
How much would you pay for it?
Probably about 2.5.
It's only 55,000 rupees. Can I have your card?
It's there.
No joke. So, and I can create different colors for you. You want a green color, blue color,
I want a red Ferrari.
We'll make a red Ferrari for you.
I want a red Ferrari.
A brooch where you can just wear it, because when you're out for work, when you're doing your podcast, when you're doing your camera recordings, wear the red
adds
Ferrari.
Flavor. If I wear that in my reels, I think that'll help me with retention too. Because people will be like, oh my God, what's that red Ferrari on him?
Yes.
That'll be cool.
We can do that for you.
Yeah.
Amazing. So let's do a quick rapid fire.
Cool.
Okay. So this is, we'll talk about, I'll say random words, random products. You have to say whether it's emotion or investment.
Cool.
No thinking, not too much thinking, and be quick, okay?
Yeah.
Dream car.
Emotion.
Diamond solitaire.
Emotion.
Vintage collectible.
Emotion.
Luxury watch?
Oh, wait. You said vintage collectible, right? Sorry,
Yeah.
I'll change that to investment.
Right, I thought
Yeah,
so.
yeah, sorry.
Luxury watch.
It depends on the brand. If it's a Rolex or an AP or a Patek or a Richard Mille investment, if it's a freaking Hublot, then it's a emotion.
Emotion, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no investment.
Yeah, there's no investment in a Hublot.
Custom piece made around something you love.
Custom. That's emotion. Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's something
Absolutely.
around you love.
Yeah. Perfect. So,
Yeah,
that
I was
was
just
a
going
good
way too fast, so I was like,
That
"Oh,
was good
vintage
one.
car was like, oh shit," because
That's why it's
yeah,
called
just
rapid
the
fire.
first strike, but then you realize that okay, wait, there's actually rarity over there. Huh.
Anything you would like to add before we close?
Yeah, the one thing which I didn't expect was me coming into spending this 1 hour with you and going back wanting to spend more money with you. So I think this is one of the most successful marketing campaigns in history. I have been debuted by Fiona. I'll just give you my Amex Platinum. No, I loved having this conversation with you.
And
I
these are
learned
limited pieces, okay?
I learned so much about diamonds. I genuinely had no idea about the possibilities of creativity with AI. I hadn't been in this world, right? So my horizons weren't broad enough. The very fact that you've actually broadened my horizons, it actually genuinely not even trying to like make it like glorified or anything,
Yeah.
but this actually gives me a drive to want to earn more money because I want to be able to purchase. I am a guy that
Exactly.
likes flashy things. So this actually, I mean, this conversation was
It's-
great. Even
yeah,
from
it's a
this is like a
conversation
TEDx talk. You just
Yeah.
motivated me to
It is
make
so-
more money and spend
this
on
is
these
all
things.
coming out of pure sheer passion of creativity. That we are not about lab grown. We are beyond that. What you can do with it.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I think this is beautiful. What you guys are doing are a great job.
Thank you so much, Rohit.
Thank you so
much
much.
for your time. Okay, so I hope everyone enjoyed the PDA show with Rohit Iyer. And today, the takeaway for me is I think not everything needs to grow financially. There are things which grow in memories and in identity. The mistake is not buying it with emotion, but the mistake is pretending it to be an investment. Thank you, everyone.